Welcome to this video on finding kosher food in Rome, Italy. So you get off the plane hungry and tired but excited to visit Rome. Where do you go to eat? Well, the first place you would probably think to go looking for kosher food is in the Jewish ghetto, especially if you are staying nearby. The Jewish ghetto is a popular tourist destination because of its history and because the Jewish Museum and the Great Synagogue are located right there in the Jewish ghetto. Or you might be staying in the Jewish neighborhood, which is in the Bologna area of Rome. There are plenty of kosher places to eat there as well. There's also a wonderful bed and breakfast located there run by a very friendly and helpful Jewish family. It's called the Home in Rome. They speak Italian, Hebrew, and English and serve up a delicious kosher breakfast every morning. So if you're looking for a kosher-friendly place to stay, this is the place. There's a website, jewisheurope.org, and it lists the restaurants in Rome and, of course, other cities in Europe, and it's a good source of information for Jewish tourists in Europe. You can also find a listing of kosher hotels to stay at. Here you can see the bed and breakfast we stayed at in the Bologna area, and, of course, you will find information about minyanim on the website. Okay, back to food. Let's first start with the Jewish ghetto. There are so many places to eat. As you walk through the ghetto, you will see restaurant after restaurant with the menus posted outside for you to see and tables set up to sit either inside or outside. Not all the restaurants are strictly kosher. Some are what you would call kosher style, so check before you sit down for a Teudat Hechsher from the Beit Din of Rome. Your first decision to make is whether you want to eat dairy or meat. Baguette has 2 restaurants in the Jewish ghetto and another in the Bologna area of Rome. Let's check out the Baguette Milky. It's a sit-down place with waiter service. Okay, let's take a look at the menu, starting with the appetizer. People told us the Roman artichoke was a delicacy. It's a fried artichoke, and it's a specialty in Rome, so we tried it. I have to say, Dougie's blooming onion is much better. There are other choices for appetizers, a cheese platter, falafel balls, stuffed rice, and so on. Or you can skip the appetizer and move on to the first course. Plenty of choices there, as you can see. Fish choices, eggplant parmesan, and of course fettuccine, ravioli, spaghetti, some soup choices, some nice choices of salads, lots of different types of pizzas. You can see all the choices, and then you have what they call white pizza. That is pizza without tomato sauce. Lots of different choices there as well. And then we come to dessert, which we chose to skip and visit the kosher gelato place instead. How can you go to Italy and not taste gelato, right? There were also choices of drinks, including alcoholic drinks such as beer and wine. We had 2 bottles of water delivered to our table of 6, one frizzante, which is sparkling water, and the other natural or still water, which is not carbonated. Here you can see the white pizza and the regular pizza. Notice the bag of bread on the table. All of the restaurants plunk down a bag of bread on your table, whether you ask for it or not. We politely asked them to take it away since no one at the table was going to eat bread and also eat pizza and whatever else we ordered. So rather than waste the bread, we said, "No thank you, please take it back." The waiter looked insulted and he kept insisting we keep it, and we kept saying, "No, we don't want it wasted." We later found out that the restaurants in Rome add a €1.50 service charge per person to your bill, and the bread is sort of their way of justifying it. The service charge remains whether you eat the bread or not, and they don't like when you refuse the bread. We didn't realize this, and we tipped the waiter on top of the €1.50 per person charge, but we later learned that the €1.50 wasn't really for the bread, but really for the service charge. So you don't need to tip in addition to that service charge unless you feel you want to give more. We found this habit of putting bread on our table in all the kosher restaurants when we visited. They will also put down bottled water sometimes without asking you and charge you for that as well. We tipped on top of that anyway. I'd appreciate your comments on this and your experiences. Did you tip in addition to the service charge? Anyway, we all pretty much had pizza, and more pizza, and it was delicious. Our friends were sitting at another table and they didn't have pizza, but they were also very happy with the food. We were eating when one of my kids, who's a huge Harry Potter fan, spotted through the window What? A Harry Potter store? Really? Yes, really. Now it's time for dessert, but not at Baguette. We want gelato. That's one of the reasons we chose Baguette Milky, obviously. I don't recall the name of this place, but there were lots of flavors and it was creamy and delicious. It's right there in the ghetto next to all the other restaurants. If you look for it, you'll find it, and it was really good. Although so is Haagen-Dazs and many of the other ice creams we get in the United States. But still, it's part of the experience of Italy to have gelato, and in the Jewish ghetto you can find kosher gelato. So how can you say no? We also, on a different day, had dinner at Baguette. Not Baguette Milky, just Baguette. This restaurant is a meat restaurant, as you can tell by the menu items. Our family enjoyed hamburgers, schnitzel, and salmon. Again, they put a bag of bread on the table and also water without asking, and they charged for the water and added €1.50 per person as a service charge again. The bread seems to be a mainstay whether you want it or not. We ate at one more restaurant in the Jewish ghetto during our stay in Rome, and that was at Carne. The food there was excellent. I think I preferred their food to the other restaurants, but we enjoyed our experience at all the restaurants in Rome. Here you can see the choices from the menu, what they call starters or appetizers. Then they have first courses, and then you have the main course. In the United States, we typically have 3 parts to the menu: the appetizer, the entree, and the dessert. In Italy, you will find 4 parts, what they call starters, appetizer, first course, then the main, and then dessert. The service, the ambiance, and the food were all very good at Carne. Now let's take a look at the other Jewish neighborhood in Rome, the Bologna area. We stayed here at the home in Rome at 34 Via Ravenna, which is a block and a half away from the metro station. Very, very convenient. It's also near the train station, so you can take a train up to Venice or Florence very easily. You can hear Hebrew on the streets in this neighborhood, and there are numerous shuls and kosher places to eat here. We visited a suitcase store right across the street from the home in Rome, because my suitcase broke, of course. And the store owner is an Israeli from Bnei Brak. He was very happy to help me out and change my dollars to euros as well. We got this handy map from our hostess, who was extremely helpful in answering our many, many questions. The map has a handy listing of kosher places to eat in the area. So where did we eat? Well, there's so many choices here, and Baguette also has a restaurant here. Let's start with Flour. Flour spelled like flour you bake with, not the flour you grow. This is a nice dairy restaurant with lots of choices for lunch and a light supper. It was very close to where we were staying and close to the metro station. It has a comfortable seating area inside and also an area to sit outside if you want. Here you can see the menu choices from Flour. It's very extensive, as you can imagine. I'm not going to read off the menu. You can read it and you can see the prices. The prices are reasonable and the food is excellent. I don't think they had an English menu. The clientele at the Flour in the Bologna section is mostly local, not tourists. There's another Flour restaurant in the Jewish ghetto, and they cater more to the tourist crowd, so they probably have an English menu, I would imagine. In any case, it's pretty obvious what you're ordering, and the people behind the counter knew enough English to help us with our order. You can order at the counter and then wait at a table for the food to be brought to you. At least that's what happened to us both times we ate here. The food is fresh and delicious. The cookies and cakes look delicious. I didn't indulge, and the staff there is super friendly, as you can see. Another place we ate was at a tiny restaurant called Little Tripoli. This restaurant is also a short walk from the home in Rome where we were staying. The place is a little small and the kitchen is on the small side, so don't bring a large crowd of people here. The menu is a cute spiral-bound booklet, and on one of the pages it very helpfully lists the potential allergens that are in the food for anyone who might be allergic. Very helpful. And the menu has lots to choose from: appetizers, entrees, main course. I don't remember a dessert section for some reason. I had a salad and a deep-fried pastry filled with minced meat and onions. Very, very good. My teenage son had a steak and French fries, of course. And finally, there is Fonzie Burger House. This place looked like a non-kosher fast food place, and I didn't see anyone else wearing a yarmulke, so I asked the guy behind the counter if it was kosher, just to double check, and he showed me his Teudat Hechsher. It was on the list of kosher places, but it never hurts to double check. The menu had burgers, and more burgers. Oh, and something like potato chips, and those were really, really good. But there were also tortillas, sandwiches, some salads. We were in the mood for burgers and fries, and that's what we got. And it was good. The place was mobbed with locals. I heard a mix of Italian and some Hebrew, but no English while we were there. Very good hamburger, and the chips were great. This is fast food at its best, or rather I should say this is kosher fast food at its best. And this was our last night in Rome. I hope you found this summary of kosher food in Rome helpful. There is no problem finding a kosher place to eat, so come visit Rome and enjoy. If you have any suggestions or advice for kosher travelers to Rome, please comment below. And thank you for watching. Bye.